Thank you, Kevin. Welcome to Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN. Our telecast presented by Taco Bell. And it is all on the line tonight. Tonight's game is part of ESPN's Geico Hunt for October. Tale of two seasons for the Atlanta Braves. The New York Mets ran out of the gate, jumped out to a 10.5 game lead entering June. Since then, nobody's been better than Atlanta. The Dodgers by just one, and the Dodgers are on an historic pace as well. Both of these teams could win 100. The key to tonight's game, it will serve as the tiebreaker in head-to-head. Each team has won 9, and if you have the tiebreaker and you finish the season tied, you avoid a wild card series. It's been all the power of the Braves. They took care of Jacob deGrom not once, not twice, but 3 times. Riley, Olson, and Swanson all left the yard, and the Braves won the Friday night opener with deGrom on the mound 5-2. Then they bring Scherzer in, and he too victimized by the home run ball. Dansby, Swanson, and Olson do it again. Riley was productive. Those 3 guys have been red hot and carried Atlanta now to the top of the National League East. Should be an outstanding game. Eduardo Perez, David Cohn, Buster Olney in a minute. I'm Carl Ravitch. Everything you could want comes down to this tonight, and that tiebreaker is enormous. The offense has been enormous for Atlanta. They got more athletic, and they love the long ball.
They love the long ball. They hit the ball hard. Top 5 guys in the lineup have elite hard hit rate. When you look at the way that the Braves score, they score via the power game. They out-homer the Mets. The Mets now, what they do is they manufacture runs. They put the ball in play. The problem is with the Braves, their defense is as elite. Put the ball in play against the Braves, you better hit it over the fence to try to beat them.
Pete Alonso's now going to bat cleanup for the New York Mets, and there is Swanson, who has the it factor. And we saw that last year during the postseason. We're seeing it again here down the stretch. Wouldn't it be interesting? deGrom and Scherzer, as one of the teammates said, they shoved it in our face. We lost with our 2 best, but Chris Bassett's been the most dependable guy for the Mets all year, and he gets the ball tonight.
He's been their horse, pitching deep into the games, the innings pitched. Certainly the guy they count on, they have a lot of confidence in. He stays off the barrel of the bat. None of his pitches jump off the charts in terms of analytics or spin rate, but the sum is greater than the parts, and that's what he does. Keep the ball in the ballpark. And then on the other end, Charlie Morton, the ageless wonder. Still 200 strikeouts at 38 years old. Still one of the best curveballs in the game. Is prone to give up the long ball at times, though.
He's also prone to hitting guys. Only Nick Lodolo has hit more batters this year, and the Mets were hit more than any team in baseball. It is down to the wire, and the first pitch of this NL East showdown is coming up when we come back. Well, the baseball season nearing its completion got off to a slow start. Poised for takeoff, the rocket ship got stuck on the pad due to a work stoppage. In Atlanta, it meant they had a lot more time to celebrate the World Series with the parties, the parades, and putting finishing touches on a $25,000 World Series ring with so much bling it lit up the night sky. When the lockout ended, the teams mounted their horses, entered the starting gate, and they were off. And in New York, behind the thoroughbreds, the Mets run a fast track to first place. They have lived there virtually all year. The Braves rode off the pace for several months, but with their young Foles and Colts, they have been as good as any in baseball, and here they come. And now as they make the turn for home and down the stretch, will it be the Mets or Braves who grab the horse by the reins and finish first in what is sure to be a photo finish? And compliments to our animation team behind the scenes, man. We look thin, we look like we're in shape. Tight, we're buttoned up.
Love the teeth also. I need to get them white. Love that.
Thoroughly pleased with that, yes.
Atlanta takes the field. They have been outstanding at home, 54-26. Only the Yankees and Dodgers have won more games on their home field, and a win tonight would be the 100th of the year for the Atlanta Braves. The Mets 98-60, and their lineup is a familiar one. Brandon Nimmo, Francisco Lindor, Jeff McNeil will bat third. Alonso will hit cleanup in the first base. Eduardo Escobar has been as hot as anybody. Daniel Vogelbach, Mark Canha, Luis Guillorme at second base, and James McCann will be behind the plate. Charlie Morton just signed another contract extension. He'll be back next year, $20 million. And as Brian Snitker says, you look around at this staff and they hope to get Spencer Strider back for the postseason. Max Fried, Morton, Strider. We've seen Kyle Wright win 21. Bryce Elder, he loves what he's got.
Yeah, so, you know, some pitchers are just born with the ability to spin a baseball. And Charlie Morton's one of those guys. He just, it's probably always had a good curveball, and it spins tight, it breaks a lot. It's his best pitch.
He'll be throwing to Travis d'Arnaud around the infield. Austin Riley, Dansby Swanson, who has played every game this year. Orlando Arcia is at second, and Matt Olson is at first. Eddie Rosario is in left field, and they are rock solid in center with Michael Harris, likely Rookie of the Year winner, Ronald Acuna in right. And if Harris doesn't win Rookie of the Year, Spencer Strider, his teammate's going to win Rookie of the Year. So here we go with the two teams having played 18 times and each one having won 9. Brandon Nimmo, the center fielder, hitting .268 with 14 homers, 58 runs batted in. The first to face Morton, and the Braves play Nimmo straight up on defense. First pitch, ball 1. Mike Estabrook will be calling balls and strikes tonight. Gorgeous night in Atlanta. Of course, Hurricane Ian moved away. They had thought about maybe moving this series, but they've had 3 great nights of weather, and there's the first strike of the night. 96 mile an hour from Charlie Morton. It is 66 degrees, and there is hardly any wind. There's Uncle Charlie from Charlie Morton. Two misses down. Nimmo leads the team in runs, in triples, and in walks.
Really good center fielder, too, defensively. 2 of the best in this game. Harris and Nimmo could cover some ground.
Nimmo on the ground. Arcia throws him out, and there's 1 down. A ground ball. Charlie Morton, something he's made a living over his lengthy career doing.
How about Charlie Morton right there, starting off with a sinker, ending with a sinker, but it's the story in between that the Mets hitters are going to have to adjust to. He pitches differently. He understands how well to use the curveball, and if you're prepping against him, it's a real difficult prep for the New York Mets. If the curveball's on early, you're in trouble.
Here's Francisco Lindor having a terrific season. He's missed just a game. You see that OPS plus of 127. His career high in that's 132. This is his second best OPS plus season. And you can certainly make a good, strong case. In spite of Alonso's RBIs, Lindor's been the MVP of the team.
He has 25 home runs, a little under the 800 OPS. A lot different story than last year.
They play him straight up, Morton, and that is fouled into the seats.
You know who loves Lindor playing shortstop? The pitcher tonight, Chris Bassett. He's got 22 double play ground balls, a lot of it because of Lindor turning it for him.
One ball, 1 strike. 2 balls and a strike. Morton is 38 years old. He's been terrific at home. His ERA is about half of what it is on the road, about a 2.88 ERA, as you can see there, 5.72 away from home. And the 2-1. The off speed pitch evens it up as he fouls it off. 2 balls, 2 strikes. With the count 2-2, Austin Riley, the third baseman, will now shift from third base, and you can see him in the upper right-hand part of your screen, to get into shallow right field.
I won't miss that next year.
Neither will he, I don't think. Just misses inside, 97 miles an hour from Charlie Morton.
Charlie's pumped up.
Right? 3-2, Lindor rifles this one to right field. And now taking a few steps back and onto the warning track to make the play is Acuna. Long, high fly ball, but it's an out. Travel 352 feet.
The release point from Charlie Morton, that lower 3/4, almost 7 or 8 o'clock on your clock as far as the release point. And Lindor, boy, just a little bit under that one. Acuna had a little doubt there.
He got away with it. Mislocation was supposed to go away right into Lindor's wheelhouse.
Ronald will check the card to see where he needs to position himself for Jeff McNeil. He cleaned up last night. The right fielder bats third. He's hitting .323, which is second best in baseball. Only Freddie Freeman with a higher batting average. Choking way up on it and slaps this one past second base and into right field for the first hit of the night. McNeil has been hot lately with multiple hit games.
Never see a pitch that Jeff McNeil doesn't like. That quadrant, he goes out there ready to swing the bat 97 miles per hour down, using the Clemente model bat, choked up. There was a Felix Millan sighting here at this ballpark a few days ago. Jeff McNeil getting on, knowing that Pete Alonso gets moved back in the order for this.
Felix Millan reference right there out of the gate. I was thinking Rusty Staub, but you're right, the choke up.
And here is Pete Alonso, the first baseman, 40 homers, 131 runs batted in. And the breaking pitch misses. So one of the reasons that Showalter said we put Alonso in the 4 spot, protection. And he also said, and you can help the folks at home what he meant, sometimes it's not about what we think about our hitter, it's about what they think about our hitter and how they pitch to him.
Absolutely. I think what's been forced upon the Mets is to figure out how to be able to replace Starling Marte, who's missing in the lineup.
Broken right finger. The next one to Pete. Try to check that swing. And he did. Ted Barrett down there at first base said he did not go, and now it's a 2-0 count. Back-to-back breaking pitches. Boy.
Go ahead, Coney. Go ahead.
Would have been a double.
Well, Acuna had a check swing last night that resulted in a ball that was hit into right field. I don't think he swung as far as Alonso just did. 2-0. 2-1.
Definitely more of an old school feel to this Mets lineup. The run producer in the cleanup hole. Traditionally, you'd think you'd have Alonso batting second, more higher in the order, according to modern analytics. So, yeah, I think Buck Showalter went kind of back to the future tonight and won the battle on the lineup construction.
Arcia shaded towards second, not in a shift, but there is a whole bunch of room between Matt Olson and Arcia at second base.
And it also helps that Eduardo Escobar has been swinging the bat well, and he's the one protecting him on the back end. 3-1, not necessarily going to have to be a 4-seam fastball. We saw him go with a 2-0 pitch, being a 2-seamer, and a great pitch and a better take also by Pete Alonso.
Now that was a check swing.
Now you have men at first and second, a walk to Alonso. And as good as McNeil has been, and Alonso with the numbers, Showalter points out Eduardo Escobar has come up with as big a hits recently as we've had. Here comes the third baseman, who has been red hot, .347 with an OPS over 1,000 against righties since August 30th.
Coney, how did you translate how he just pitched to Alonso?
Same thing. Just because first base is covered doesn't mean there's not a base open. But Charlie Morton not going to give in early in the game here.
Does not get the high strike call, appeared to get the top of the K zone. And here are Escobar's numbers. Just talked about what he did in September, and now as you move towards October, highest month of his career. They'd love a big hit here. 3 on the right side of the infield. So the way baseball pitchers are throwing, far less reliance on fastballs.
Yeah, there's a reason for that. Charlie Morton's given up 14 home runs on his 4-seam fastball there. So to Buster's point, he's not going to give in there when he falls behind and give in and throw a 4-seam fastball.
This will be his 20th pitch of the inning. Back-to-back curveballs to start Escobar. McNeil at second. Next pitch, slow roller foul down the first base line. And now for the first time tonight, the Truist Park crowd gets into it.
Hall of Famers in the house.
One, two, call strike 3. Frozen with a curveball on the corner. The Mets will strand 2. And the Atlanta Braves trying to sweep New York, grab a commanding 2-game lead, come up for the first time. National League ranks this Atlanta offense second in the league in runs. Anytime there's a 2, it's because they're behind the Dodgers, but they are number 1 in homers with 239. Second in slugging, second in OPS with Acuna Jr., Dansby Swanson, Michael Harris at the top, Riley, Olson, d'Arnaud in the middle, Ozuna, Rosario, and Arcia 7, 8, 9. To deal with this guy, Chris Bassitt.
Chris Bassett's a kitchen sink style repertoire. Cutters, sinkers, curveballs. As we said in the open, stays off the barrel of the bat. Does a good job of getting the ball on the ground. Career high ground ball rate this year. A little under 50%.
So Acuna set for Bassett's first. Swings at the first one, pops it up. Guillorme going out, coming in is McNeil, and it'll be Luis Guillorme to make the play on one pitch. That's a helper for Bassitt. I mean, what are the nerves like in a game like this? You've dealt with those. You're on the road.
It's always the worst right before the game. Once you get into the first inning, get your first out. That's a big deal for Chris Bassitt right there, to get an easy out. You see Charlie Morton kind of navigate through the first inning, not wanting to give in. Neither starting pitcher wants to allow the other team to score first, because that matters in a big game.
Dansby Swanson, first pitch from Bassitt, 93 in there for a strike. The Atlanta Braves and Alex Anthopoulos have spent a lot of time signing players to long-term deals. One of the guys they haven't done that with is this guy, Dansby Swanson. He looks around, he sees Austin Riley got a big deal. Olson, of course, came over, got a big deal. He looks behind him, and Michael Harris in center field. Regardless of where he signs, he's going to sign for a lot of money and a lot of years. 1-2. Cutter on the outside corner.
And he's picked a great time to have a career year. Great defensively and a run producer with pop.
13th in baseball, a WAR of 6, and he waits on that breaking pitch and pulls it foul.
And guys, what might make him even more valuable in the free agent market is the forthcoming regulations against the defensive shifts, because Dansby Swanson is regarded as an excellent defensive shortstop on his own merits, not necessarily someone who's being protected by defensive shifts.
He has 20 outs above average, which is second overall in baseball defensively. One of the metrics used to grade out a defensive player. 1-2.
And Ron Washington doing his magic again, right? Coming over to Atlanta, one of the main reasons, he said, just let me work with him and we'll get him right. Let's not forget Marcus Semien, when he struggled with the Athletics, it was Ron Washington who came in over there also and fixed him at shortstop before Semien ended up moving to second base.
2-2, you can hear Bassett grunting as he throws. 94, but he missed full count.
But it's a four-seam fastball way out of the zone, and if you look at the sequence, so far he's gone cutter or curveball. That two-seam fastball, that was after Acuna swung at the first pitch for an out.
3-2, and he swings and drives this one to right center field. It is deep. Did he do it again? Yes, he did! Dansby Swanson, third straight game against the Mets with a homer, this time early, and Atlanta leads 1-0.
Big game Dansby. That's what he's been for the Atlanta Braves. Exit velocity 104.6. But it's the ability to think ahead. He knows most likely they're not coming with the hitter 3-2. Here we go. First pitch, two-seamer. Next pitch, curveball. Then he goes with the cutter. He sees it well. See him look back where it lands. Curveball again. Shows him the fastball just for show. Sits cutter after the 94-mile-per-hour fastball and gets it and drills it to right center field.
Dansby Swanson, the latest iteration of Met Killer. And this is Chipper Jones all over again, at least this week.
Just the 5th home run that Bassett's given up on that cutter this year.
But it stayed middle. He wanted it to be middle away.
Michael Harris holds his, and boy, that certainly appeared to be in the K zone. They'll check whether he swung or not. He did not. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Harris has been an absolute revelation since he's joined the big club. That's in there for a strike. Over 300 batting average. He's over the 20 steal mark. If he hits another homer, he'd be a 20-20 guy. And there have not been many under 21 to do that.
Snicker was funny describing him, Carl, when you asked him, just tell me about this young kid, and said he was surprised across the board. He didn't know he had that kind of arm, didn't know he had that kind of speed, didn't know he could run him down in center field.
So a 2-2 on the way to Harris. So Swanson joins a very elite club. Swanson and Matt Olson, of course, homered on Friday and Saturday, and now Dansby has done it in 3 straight games against the Mets in 1 series. Dale Murphy in 78 and then again in 87. Andrew Jones in 98 and 06. Chipper Jones and Austin Riley last year. The only guys to hit homers in the same series in each game against the Mets. 2-2. Now this ball driven to center field. Nimmo got a good jump on it, and he is there. 104 off the bat.
Sometimes, Eduardo, on a 3-2 pitch, you don't want to throw for a ball. You feel like you got to throw for a strike, and you end up hanging it in the middle of the plate. .29 out of 30 parks the other way. That's the impressive part, that you stay on a secondary pitch, a cutter in the upper 80s, and drive it out the other way. Tells you that you're really locked in.
Another guy locked in is Austin Riley. And he looks at ball 1 inside. That ball climbed over the brick wall in right field. The only park it wouldn't have been a homer in has a taller brick wall in right field, and that is Oracle Park in San Francisco. Riley, that's hit hard. Scoop by Lindor. And he will throw out Austin Riley. Dansby Swanson had big home runs when he was at Vanderbilt. He continues that tradition here with the Braves. Postseason, end of season, any season. ESPN's telecast of Sunday Night Baseball is presented by Taco Bell. Sweet swing of Dansby Swanson gives Atlanta a 1-0 lead. He is now homered in 3 straight games. They hit 5 combined against DeGrom and Scherzer, and now 1 against Bassett. So Charlie Morton takes to the mound with a 1-0 lead. And, you know, with all the shortstops in the free agent class, Dansby Swanson thrust himself right into the same category. In some places, maybe above the Turners, Correas, Xander Bogaerts, right?
I don't see why not. The way he's playing down the stretch, the fact that he's such a good defender as well as coming into his own offensively.
Daniel Vogelbach will be the first guy that Morton faces here to start the second inning. Mets had runners at first and second base when Eduardo Escobar got caught looking at a Morton pitch on the outside corner to end the inning.
The last inning, the backdoor curveball from Charlie Morton, just a dandy. I mean, when you look at on the clock coming out about 8 o'clock on the release point, 8 inches more break than average, 15 total.
Pitch down 2-0 to Vogie. The Mets 6 for 24 with men on in this series, and they have no extra base hits. And because the Braves have pounded the baseball over the wall, it's accentuated one of the deficiencies of the Mets. Vogelbach sends this to right, way back, and that reduces the deficiency. Daniel Vogelbach. He hits his 18th of the year, and he takes Morton out to tie it at 1.
How about the DH spot? That was the big question with the New York Mets this season. Early on in spring training, everybody was excited about the DH spot. No production from there. They get their first extra base hit out of the 5-hole. A cutter, 89 miles per hour. As soon as he hit it, he knew it.
What a huge hit for the Mets.
2 cutters have left the ballpark from each side.
Now even at 1. Mark Canha next up, and Charlie Morton's first pitch right down the middle. 96 on a sinker. Now the right-handed hitting DH has been a problem for the Mets. Vogelbach has showed up and really took off. When he first showed up, he exploded. Then kind of settled down. Canha hits this hard over the head of Swanson. And back-to-back solid hits for the Mets now. Have Canha at first.
It's a huge pickup for your starting pitcher from Vogelbach right there. Chris Bassett feels a little bit better now. You're back to even with 1 swing of the bat.
Tell you what else it does. It just makes the fans sit down, quiet down. You can tell the difference between even in the bottom half and even in the top half before it started to after that ball went over the fence.
Beard brother of Luis Guillorme.
Yes. He's the one who started the Let's Go Mets chant.
Pitch is up. So Morton, of course, made a living and became known in Tampa as Ground Chuck because he would force so many ground balls. This year, his ground ball rate is down a little bit, and his fly ball rate is up a little bit. Vogelbach's homer has tied this game at 1. Outside. Again, both of these teams have each won 9 in their series. The tiebreaker will be decided by the winner tonight, and if they end the season tied, that team will avoid a wild card series. Guillorme left field. Rosario there to make the play on a line drive.
Gone in 26 of 30 ballparks. Gets that ball out in front. He knew that in this ballpark, that 35-degree launch angle, exit velocity way over 100, 404 feet the distance was going to leave this ballpark. That's striking a pose.
Coors Field, one of the 4 ballparks it wouldn't have left, which is like the last ballpark you think a ball that is hit at that angle.
I think it's the extension of the wall as well.
And as Ivan Selkowski, who of course makes Denver his home and is our statistician and booth coordinator tonight, reminds everybody. high wall. Thin air. High wall wins that battle. Morton ahead of McCann, the 9-hole hitter, 0-1. Multiple injuries this year. For McCann, just 2 homers, 15 runs batted in, and he chased a curveball out of the zone. Way outside, McCann gone fishing.
That right there is what you call a non-competitive at-bat. Pitch comes at, is never a strike, way out of the zone. It's guessing that it's going to be in the zone. He committed even before the pitch was released. You see the spin at home. That man at the plate did not.
All right, Nimmo's second chance. He grounded out to the second baseman his first time up. Canha at first with just 3 stolen bases. He had a quad injury last week. And this one is over the Mets dugout. And the guy that's a free agent. Talk about a good two-way player who's just gotten better. Brandon Nimmo is going to be on the market.
It's another guy that Buck Showalter loves and talked about. You're going to be surprised how much interest is going to be in Brandon Nimmo this offseason.
That one's into right field. Canha will stop at second base. Acuna bobbled it when he picked it up. But it'll be first and second. So you were waving up here like you wanted them to go, huh?
I was. I understand that there are 2 outs. I get it, but when the ball's hit in the hole and you know where the outfield is at that moment in the ground, you have to think third base and look at your coach, Joey Cora. Breaking pitch, you take a good secondary. That ball's by him in a hurry. Took a good secondary, the ball goes behind him. I'm thinking 3 right here. Force him to throw you out. Even Acuna was trying to get ready and was not able to. But you respect the arm of Ronald Acuna Jr. in right field, but there are certain times that you have to push the envelope and be smart, especially with the top of the order.
Here's Lindor in another big spot, and Morton breaks a curveball in there for strike 1.
And let me be clear, if the ball's in front of Canha, he only stays at second base. If it goes behind, that's when you can. If you know where the outfielder is, go first to third.
Lindor, 287 runners in scoring position. Swing and a miss very late on that 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Morton has thrown 8 straight strikes. The Mets ended the first with runners at first and second. Lindor called time. It wasn't going to be granted by the umpire, but Morton stopped.
Now, was that granted?
Yes, their hand went up late. And look at the apology from Lindor.
That's too late.
How'd you deal with that when a batter called timeout real late? See you running a little hot.
Yeah, no, that definitely will unnerve you on the mound. Charlie Morton, a good enough athlete to stop his delivery.
Another 0-2. What do you think the difference with Lindor this year compared to last year's been? Is it just comfort or is there more to it?
Absolutely. There's a lot to that. Plus, he knows what to expect. You know where the route to the ballpark, the entire thing. You've created a routine. Now, Francisco Lindor, late last year, he was pretty darn good as well. Good turn the page.
0-2, wild swing and a miss, and Morton makes Lindor look bad. He made McCann look bad. The Mets have stranded 4 through the first 2 innings, but thanks to the big fella Daniel Vogelbach, they have tied it up. Morton's got 3 punch-outs. We're 1-1 to the bottom of the second. Playoffs start Friday, best of 3 wild card round. We have the games on ESPN, ESPN2, ABC, and ESPN Deportes, and the ESPN app. The Fall Frenzy will start at 1 Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific. Montreal Expo flavor. A little Molson and Olsen. It's a good combination.
It sounds good right about now,
good
right?
combo.
Put him on ice.
Do this game Harry Carey style right now.
I'm sure a lot of the folks at home would like it. Bassett falls behind Olsen 2-0. He's been red hot with that bat. Inside, 3 balls, no strikes.
Guaranteed he's got the green light here.
Gets the call. StatCast is powered by Google Cloud. And while Bassett just gave up 1, there were some hard hit balls there.
Well, they were. And this is what the Atlanta Braves do well. The highest exit velo average-wise in the National League. Only Toronto. Or as they say in Toronto.
Olsen draws the walk. He's one of those guys. Average exit velocity 97%. Boy, did he have some shoes to fill in Freddie Freeman. So a leadoff walk. That brings up the former Met Travis d'Arnaud, who's been a Met, Dodger, a Ray, a Brave.
Right here, Olsen at first base has to be aware of any pitch hit in the dirt. So far in this series, they have attacked d'Arnaud with a lot of breaking stuff, down and away.
Strike 1 at 92. McCann was in college. He earned the nickname McCannon for his arm. Outfield respecting d'Arnaud. They're playing fairly deep. 18 homers on the year. Fouls that off.
You can't help but look at Travis d'Arnaud and think that the Mets just let him go. Really for nothing. Just kind of cut him loose. Found his way to Atlanta and now trying to be the payback guy.
He had a rebirth, didn't he, in Tampa Bay?
Yeah.
They used him as a cleanup hitter.
And leadoff hitter.
Late there. Look.
He was sitting soft the entire time. Marcell Ozuna on deck didn't even move on that foul ball. This is what it looks like when you're sitting slider. He knows how they've been pitching him the entire time.
Right out of the glove, right? Unbelievable.
Hit at 97 miles an hour sideways. Set up inside, and that one misses down and in.
Bassett's best pitch. He pitches off that 2-seam fastball, that sinker.
d'Arnaud in the hole, past the dive of Escobar. Lindor will go to second, and Olsen wasn't sure if that ball was going to be caught in the air by Escobar, so he wasn't even halfway to second when Lindor got the force out.
Actually, pretty smart base running by Olsen. From your angle, you don't know if he's going to catch it or not. You know, it's going to be difficult with the exit velocity coming off that jam shot to be able to double up d'Arnaud. Doesn't catch it. Now you're hoping it goes through.
Easy range of Francisco Lindor at shortstop made that look like a simple play. It was not to get over there that quickly.
Now the 31-year-old dangerous Marcell Ozuna, the designated hitter. 22 homers on the year, and the first pitch is way outside. Another one of those hard hit exit velocity guys.
Pitcher, catcher, and hitter were surprised by that call.
Been a little inconsistent. I mean, that was
And manager.
a ball a few times.
Everybody's like, that was right down the middle.
Now gets ahead of Ozuna, who's hit well recently here with a batting average over 300. Last 16 games, 6 extra base hits, 7 runs batted in. Just a guy that extends the lineup. That's what the Mets don't have with Marte out. Bassett hoping for a ground ball. We'll take that too. Punch out of Marcell Ozuna. Strikeout number 1 for Chris Bassett.
It's another one of the different looks that Bassett can give you, kind of a hybrid curve slider. Little bit of side-to-side movement on that one. As he gets around it just enough, he can manipulate it. A little quicker than his normal curveball. His curveball can be down around 70. That one closer to the mid-70s. That's what Bassett can do. He can almost invent pitches on the fly out there and manipulate the break on his pitches.
Remind you of anybody?
Yeah, well, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of his, that's for sure. Just a craftsman out there. The sum is greater than the parts with Chris Bassett.
They shift against the NLCS MVP from last year, Eddie Rosario. Bassett steps off.
Talk about a guy that's 2 different stories. First half really struggled, ended up having eye surgery, and then has come back in the second half of the season and has really turned it on since coming off the IL.
Blurred vision, swelling in his right eye, and Rosario swings hard at that and misses. On a 2-year, $18 million deal in March. Guillorme is in shallow right field, about 15-20 feet off the grass. Next one way out in front of that. Here you go. Bassett's Nestor Cortezing it here.
He definitely has some gamesmanship in his style. Hesitating and certainly pitch calling as well. He uses that to his advantage, at least for this year, where he can wait and shake off and shake off.
Next year, just one shake maybe, then you got to throw it.
I think he should wear the pitch comm on his arm next year. Call his own game. Put it right on his glove.
6 different pitches, though.
DeGrom and Scherzer both beaten games 1 and 2. How this whole thing plays out and where you are going into the last series and maybe even the last day of the regular season. Rosario, center field, Nimmo. 15 feet to his left is there to make the play. Leadoff walk doesn't yield anything for Atlanta. We're through 2. It's 1-1.
seeing in Chris Bassitt so far tonight?
Competing. Chris has had a great year for us, and real proud of him. But he's battling a good team. Their guys good too, and that's why both these clubs are where they are.
So tell me what it's like for you to be back in a dugout in a game of such importance like this one.
Well, they're all important. They really are, because they're very important to our fans and our organization and the people who live and die with us. So, that's always fun. But the expectations are high for all of us.
All right, Buck.
Okay.
Thanks, Carl. Back to you.
Now, Buster, thank you. He, of course, made his debut in '92 with the Yankees. He resigned after the '95 season when George Steinbrenner demanded he let go as hitting coach. And, of course, the Yankees then went on to win 4 World Series in 5 years. From '96 to '01, he certainly had a hand in all of those. Gets the call on the outside corner. McNeil looks back at Estabrook to question.
Not much that Buck Showalter hasn't done in this game.
Right.
On every level. Development, farm systems, started the Diamondbacks from scratch.
That was impressive.
From expansion to a 100-win season in 2 years.
All walks of life, dealing with scouts. And now I think, we've talked about this. I think he's having more fun than ever dealing with the analytics department that he has now. The sparring he can do on a daily basis with those guys.
Next one to McNeil. And that is just down. Now, I think the mental gymnastics thing, he really gets off on. He
loves it. Loves coming to the park every day and having a kid with an iPad coming to him and being able to challenge him.
McNeil rifles this one down the line. He watches it go. That's a big fly for Jeff McNeil. His 8th. Second home run of the night for the Mets. And they go on top. A no-doubter for McNeil. He stared at it from Jump Street. It had no hook on it.
How about that curveball? Stayed up. McNeil again choked up. Gets a good look at it. Puts that foot down and just barrels it.
That's what you call running into one. Got your normal approach and you get a hanging curveball. It speeds up the bat and you run right into it.
The sound said it all.
Nearly hit it into the chop house, and the first pitch to Alonso is way inside. 388 feet here at Truist Park down the line. So far, the lineup change has worked out. Alonso got jammed, but that's going to get into left field, and just as they did in the first inning, I should say the second inning, homer followed by a single here in the third. Homer followed by a single.
The McNeil home run, really impressive, but this right here, this is a strong man. That ball jams him, 95 running in. Where it hits the bat. He's choked up around the label. The sound will tell the story of that one as well. It died a hero. That's the bat.
So Alonso with a walk and a single, and now Escobar, he slaps one the other way. And Alonso puts the brakes on there, but the Mets are hitting Charlie Morton and jumping on pitches early.
Mets going after Morton the same way that seems like the Braves did it in the first 2 games of this series via the long ball.
7 hits tonight for the New York Mets.
That's feeling it. Not trying to do too much. Two-seamer running away, sees it, lets it get a little deep so he can lean you the other way. Worst case scenario, he grounds into a base hit as well as he had to shift.
Vogelbach homered his first time up. Again, the Mets 2 men on.
Two no-doubters so far that Charlie Morton has hit. Both players looking at that baseball. Vogelbach showing emotion.
That's in there for a strike. Came over from the Pirates July 22nd. It immediately made an impact, and now tonight certainly making an impact.
Guys, with so much on the line tonight, how quickly you think Braves begin to think about the bullpen?
Fairly quickly.
Yeah, we can see some stirring down there. Whoever's down in the bullpen certainly is thinking about it as well. Nobody up yet, but certainly guys are moving around down there. And he's thinking about it right now.
So again, the Braves have a 1-game lead in the division. They each have 3 games left after today. They are tied 9-9 in the season series. 2-1 to Vogelbach. Swing and a miss. Right over the top of the curveball. Braves win tonight. Obviously, they go up 2, and they have the tiebreaker advantage. Their magic number would be reduced to 1.
Four pitches in this at-bat, all curveballs.
It is remarkable when you think about it. 2 teams on the verge of 100-win seasons
Yeah.
that have gone 9-9 against each other.
There's a lot of 1993 Giants Braves NL West feeling to this race between these 2 teams. The Giants just kept coming. That was the year Bonds showed up. Vogelbach rolls one over, and that gets through. Olsen does not dive to keep it on the infield. Alonso is in. Vogelbach an RBI, and the Mets now lead 3-1.
Some reason it seems like Matt Olson thought that his second baseman Orlando Arcia was going to make this play. With the runner at second base, you're thinking maybe I can knock it down or even dive and have time to get Vogelbach at first. No stride, just let's put the ball in play right here with 2 strikes.
Reaching out and hooking that ball, Vogelbach. 90-mile-an-hour exit velocity.
Well, I would have thought that Olsen, just with that runner at second base, would have tried to keep it on the infield and prevent Alonso from coming in to score. Now Canha with runners at first and third.
Still nobody out. And that's going to send the bullpen scurrying.
Jackson Stevens is the first one to start warming up. Huge, huge game for both teams. And slow roll. Escobar coming. Riley lets it go foul. Ooh.
How smart was that? That is thinking ahead right there, taking a gamble. He was not going to get Canha at first base.
Buck Showalter quickly out there to talk to the third base umpire.
Talk about rolling the dice, Eduardo. I mean, wow, you got to decide right now. No, don't touch it.
Oh, that's foul too. Look at Joey Cora trying to sell it.
Non-reviewable play on fair foul on the infield.
Well, it bounced foul before it went over the bag, so clearly foul.
What a risky play. He had no out, but if that gets by him, Vogelbach probably on third base. And the left fielder wasn't really reading it. I know it's Vogelbach, but Rosario was still deep in the outfield. Eddie looked at me like, he's not getting to third base.
Watching Vogelbach run this year is one of the happiest points for Mets fans this year.
Bartolo Colon homer trot.
Yes, same category. Vogelbach had cult hero written all over him the minute he got traded over here.
1-2. Canna on the infield. Olson. He's there. Big out for Morton.
Circle that play again by Austin Riley. By allowing that ball to go right there. Get one out. Let's see how this turns out for Charlie Morton. He's going to live and die with that curveball. That's what's gotten him such a long career. See the bat path of hands right there being fooled.
Luis Guillorme now with, again, runners at first and third. Mets up 3-1. They've got 2 in the inning thanks to a McNeil homer. Squared and pulls it back.
As a third baseman, you know you don't have a shot at first base. You know who the runner is, but you see the spin, and as soon as it kicked away, you took a gamble, and so far it's been a good one for him.
Morton now ahead 0-2, and the Truist Park crowd will start to chant a little bit louder as he gets set to throw his 20th pitch of the inning. Well, the power of the Braves won the first 2 games, and tonight the power has been on the Mets side. Vogelbach and McNeil home runs.
Dansby Swanson trying to get Eddie Rosario's attention to move towards the line.
Swing and a miss on a curveball. Guillorme down. And there are 2 men out.
Coney, it looks so easy on TV, but it's just not. Your hands come up with the baseball, and then you try to bring them back down. And next thing you know, it takes a dive.
It's kind of been all or nothing for Charlie Morton's curveball tonight. It's either been really good like that one or the ones that have stayed up and left the ballpark.
3 of his 4 strikeouts have come with runners in scoring position. And remember the first McCann at bat, swinging at balls that were in the left-hander's batter's box. See if Morton tries to get him to fish again. Slow roller. No one's there at first. Morton now races over, and he beats McCann to the bag as Olson went over. But for a while, it looked like McCann might end up winning that race. 2.5 in. It's the Mets 3 and the Braves 1.
Manager Brian Snitker. And Snit, what's your assessment of Charlie Morton so far? How deep can you go with him?
Well, I mean, you know, he's going to have to cover a little bit right here because we got 3 more games to play. Get behind a lot of guys is a big thing. So hopefully he can, you know what, Charlie's the kind of guy, he can right the ship, get on a roll, and stretch this game too.
Okay, give me your view of that decision by Austin Riley to let that ball go foul.
Yeah, pretty clutch play right there, man. That's a great instinct.
Snit, thanks. Carl, back to you.
Buster, thank you. Snitker, the manager of the Braves, the World Series, been with the organization for a long, long time, and knows all of these players intimately. Said they've gotten a lot more athletic this year. That's just why they've been better defensively and certainly offensively with the ability to hit it over the wall. You compare this team to last year's team, and obviously they won it all, but athleticism is definitely different than it was. It's better.
Center field's a lot better as well, right?
Michael Harris. Here's Orlando Arcia. And Bassett with a 2-run lead, strike 1.
It was one of those years for the Braves that up and down, the minor league coaches, the scouts, everybody deserves so much credit when you see these young players come up and contribute like they have.
Buster asked him about Morton too, and he said he's been getting behind. Truth is, he's faced 18. He's gotten behind 9 of them. And Garcia will start this inning off with a single into right field. That's one of the challenges that every championship organization faces. What do you do the next season? How much do you change? Do you change nothing at all? And the Atlanta Braves made some changes for sure.
Got this. You're down to they're relinquishing the lead, and now you get the top of the order.
It's a potential momentum shift right here, going back to that Riley play at third, and Morton get out of that jam.
Good take by Acuna.
Everybody wants to see this man here in the postseason. Last year did not have the opportunity with his injury.
Yeah, and that repaired right knee with the surgery, it flares up on him. Surgically, it is repaired. It's been a success, but there's pain associated with this recovery, and he has good days and bad days.
On the Mets side, potential shutdown inning for Bassett. Could be huge. You get your team back in the dugout, get Morton back on the mound.
Bassett's looking for another double play. He's given up so many this year, leaned on it a lot. The only problem is there's elite speed at the plate, on deck, and also with Michael Harris in the hole.
1-1 to Acuna. Fouled right off at the plate. In spite of that bulky knee, 28 stolen bases, 26 doubles. So as you recover from the hip surgery, expect, an occasional bad day.
Yeah, absolutely.
But more of them are going to be good.
I don't have to go out there and play outfield.
That's true. But you could now if you had to.
Well, I could play golf.
Acuna, that's going to go foul.
Buck Showalter uses the word trust a lot in building the culture of this Mets team, seemingly overnight. And he has a lot of trust in this pitcher, Chris Bassett. And he's used that word to describe Bassett this year, that he's one of the guys that can really trust all year long. Took the ball every turn.
Yep.
Now finds himself in the biggest game of the season for his team.
1-2. And misses badly. DeGrom and Scherzer both have dealt with different injuries, obliques for Scherzer. And DeGrom, of course, was out for a long time. This is the guy that has answered the bell. He and Canna came over. Buck talks about their personalities and how different they are, and yet how similar they are when they get into conversation, sort of open-minded, different perspectives.
Bassett very much old school, pitches off a feel. Doesn't really even want to know his numbers in terms of spin rate or vertical or horizontal break. He knows them, but he doesn't really worry about them. He worries about pitches off a feel.
2-2 to Acuna, way inside. 3-2, and of course Dansby Swanson, who has homered in each of the first 3 games here, is on deck.
Oh, he's already seen 2 curveballs, 3 sinkers, and a slider in this at bat.
When a batter fouls a ball off, do you as a pitcher read anything into how the ball is fouled off, where it goes?
You're always reading the bat, and I think that the challenge for Chris Bassett tonight is he's not really a strikeout pitcher. And the Braves are a powerful team, but they do tend to strike out a lot. So that's where the rubber meets the road here, is putting away hitters for Bassett tonight. You can see here with the 8th pitch of the at-bat, where do you go? How do you finish hitters?
3-2. Misses badly. First and second for Dansby Swanson. Nobody out here in the bottom of the third. Friday night, Jacob deGrom. Fastball right down the middle. Swanson, center stage. Scherzer, exit left center stage. And then tonight, right center. 1,273 feet of distance for Dansby Swanson. And again, you go back to the Riley play. It feels huge and getting bigger. Off speed pitch, and that misses.
And this becomes tricky if you cannot land that breaking pitch. That man right there is going to force you to come with the number one. Already took a cutter deep to right center field.
Can a hot hitter take your best pitch, one of them, out of your equation?
The good ones can, yes, and certainly that's about approach. And Bassett's best weapon this year has been keeping the ball on the ground and getting double play balls. Desperately needs one here. Swanson a hot hitter with a 2-0 count.
Only big problem is 9 of the 19 balls so far hit on the ground in this series have gone for base hits for the Braves. Even as hot as he is right now, I give him the take here. Because that two-seam fastball comes into play.
Nope. 3-0, green light, and swung right over it.
That's right in the hot hand. You're down 2, doesn't matter. Hands stay still the entire time.
Arcia led off with a single. He's at second. Acuna at first after a walk, and a 3-1 from Bassett to Swanson. Center field. Nimmo, and this is playable. Still going back. Arcia will tag. Acuna will tag as well. He's into second, and both runners advance. That knee is okay as Acuna tags on a ball hit to the track.
So we've talked all along how the Braves can beat you with power, but they can also beat you with speed. Elite speed at the top of the order. One guy that just hit it has it. The other guy's at first base, and one's coming up to the plate. This is understanding where Brandon Nimmo plays in the outfield. He plays 333 feet from home plate, deep. He understands the arm. He did the homework, gets to second base, and puts himself in scoring position, representing the tying run.
You know, Nimmo kind of drifted on that back,
Yep.
right? And got caught a little bit flat-footed. But it was deep enough and good base running.
Big spot for the rookie Harris. Bassett's first pitch. McCann tackled it, can't find it. As it rolls slowly in front of home. Arcia took a good look at it too at third base.
Thank you, buddy.
That's how I look when I lose my cell phone in the couch, right there.
Straight panic.
Yeah, where's it at?
It's ringing and you just can't find it.
It's right here. I just left it, I know.
Way inside. Harris is a Atlanta Braves kid. He grew up just outside of Atlanta. The Braves loving family. Terrific numbers with runners in scoring position. Complimenting him. Brian Snitker said, everything I see he does is crazy. It's stupid how good he is. His maturity. 2-0. 2 balls and a strike.
2-0 curveball.
He grew up idolizing Jason Hayward. Dad was a semi-pro ball player. 2-1. And it is fouled straight back. This was Arcia dancing and doing a lot of that. And he and his buddy Escobar.
Escobar knows what's at stake.
What's at stake?
Game faced him, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Harris used his signing bonus money to put 2 batting cages in his folks' backyard. Rifles this one, but it looks like it's going to go foul down the left field line, and it will. Good article written by our buddy Clinton Yates on Anscape. He talked about Harris. One of the guys that he worked out with and was coached by was Marquise Grissom, of course, the former great Brave. They worked out at a place known as The Hill, which is a farm that belongs to Grissom. Grissom described the kid at the plate this way: play different, different attitude, makeup different. He's going to win the game. His preparation is relentless. And he swings at that and misses at a wicked curveball. The best one Bassett has thrown tonight.
How about being 2-0 and coming away with this? First it was the curveball. Then he goes with the cutter. Then he repeats with another cutter up at 90 miles per hour. And then curveball at 72, taking some off it, making it look and appear like a changeup. And he gets him. A big strikeout, especially with Austin Riley up at the plate.
The speed is the key.
Whew. Great pitch from Bassett. Now here is Riley, who made that decision to let that ball go foul. Out, hit him. Austin Riley's going to go down to first base. Bassett dinged him with first base open. That was a 92-mile-an-hour sinker.
How about this? New York Mets have been hit a record 110 times this season. First base open. But guess what? You have a beast on deck as well. Matt Olson is swinging a pretty darn good bat in this series.
Yeah, Bassett was upset. Got underneath that two-seamer. Arm side run, got away from him.
So Bassett against his former mate in Oakland. Bassett directing infield traffic, which allows Arcia to come halfway down third base. Bases loaded. Ball 1 to Olson. So Escobar has moved over basically to where the shortstop would play. And obviously Arcia can move as far off third base as Escobar is off third base. So anything that squirts away from McCann, Arcia is going to come home on. Inside, 2 balls, no strikes.
I wonder if Escobar, as soon as the pitch is delivered, if he just sprints over third, does McCann have a shot? Especially with the secondary that Arcia takes.
Dare throw a curveball 2-0?
Get it over for a strike, absolutely. Whatever you get over.
Missed badly, 3 balls, no strikes, no place to put him with 2 outs. Olson's next RBI will be his 100th.
How about that pitch there, Coney? He's not giving in at all with Matt Olson. 3-1. Don't think it has to be a four-seam fastball. That's what Matt Olson's hunting for, that's for sure.
Three and one. Ball four. That will allow the run to come in. Olson to first. It's 3-2. As Arcia steps on home.
Going to send the Mets bullpen scurrying too on their own, as both bullpens early in this game moving around. But you can see cutter up and away, sinker in, designed to be away. High cutter again, thinking he's swinging. 2-0. Gets the call on the two-seamer on 3-1. Back with the two-seamer again, runs off the plate. Just a little tentative, a little too careful.
Guys, we talk so much about Chris Bassitt, Charlie Morton coming into this game, but with both starting pitchers stressed, in the end, it's probably going to be the bullpens that are going to decide this.
For May, without his hat on, getting loose out there in that pen. And here's d'Arnaud, made a living as an offensive catcher. Swings at the first one, and he missed it badly.
Surprised he didn't use that pitch in the last at bat, because that's how you can get a strike when you need to get a strike.
Bassitt has thrown 30 pitches in the inning. Acuña's at third base, Riley at second, and that one in there for a strike to get ahead 0-2.
This is where d'Arnaud now changes his approach and thinks right center field. 2 strikes, takes a deep breath. Tries to slow everything down, allow the ball to get a little deeper. Waiting on a mistake.
One and two. d'Arnaud was way out ahead of that.
Just flying open. You can see his front side's gone. That's not what he's trying to do right there.
Yeah.
Have a rolling breakable. He wants this down and away. This ends up hanging. He's lucky it hanged off the plate instead of on the plate.
See how far that pitch was, and d'Arnaud just showing his hand.
.38 strikes and 28 balls out of 66 total here in the third inning for Bassitt.
Trying to walk off the mound with a lead. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the 33-year-old Travis d'Arnaud. Nearly threw it by McCann. Heck of a catch by the catcher.
Brian Snitker told us earlier, he also said it at the beginning of the series, the playoffs have begun. Sure has that feel to it here tonight.
Yeah, when you're pitching in these games, every pitch is high stress.
He threw 34 pitches the first 2 innings. This will be his 34th pitch this inning. And it's a big one to d'Arnaud with him loaded. Right off of his fists.
But what a third inning for both of these managers. From the Riley play in the top, and the Mets scoring 2. Morton pitching out of that jam. First and third, nobody out. Now, tremendous momentum swing potential here for Bassitt and the Mets, and d'Arnaud batting.
Fouled at the plate. You can see how hard Bassitt is working this inning, and he's been so efficient. In the month of August, he went 8-1 with a 2.25 ERA. Tied Kyle Wright of the Braves, who picked up his 21st win last night with the most wins in that span. He's now going to throw his 8th pitch to d'Arnaud. Off speed up the middle, it's going to get through. Acuna looks behind him, he waves Riley in, and d'Arnaud does it. Knocks in 2 with a clutch single up the middle. And Atlanta back on top.
This man becomes dangerous with 2 strikes, trying not to pull anything. It's the first curveball he sees in an 8-pitch sequence. Curveball. Stays middle, down in the zone, 73 miles per hour. He gets his hit. Looks like Buck Showalter's seen enough as Bassitt can't get out of the 3rd.
He just had trouble putting away hitters, even when he did get ahead. Nothing could finish off these Brave hitters.
And it's never comfortable for a visiting pitcher to walk off the field here in Atlanta in the middle of an inning, because that's what you look at. Everybody gets their cell phones out, light them up. The Braves have lit up Bassitt. It is a battle of the bullpen now for the New York Mets. Looks like May is in. Mets have gone to the righty Trevor May. Ozuna with runners at 1st and 3rd for his pitch. No swing. Well, the Atlanta Brave offense has been on fire, and they did the job against DeGrom, Scherzer, and tonight, Chris Bassitt.
Trevor May's numbers on the year. ERA's a little high. Strikeout rate above average. Walk rate right at Major League average.
6 runs over his last 14 in the 3rd. Ozuna swings and misses.
I can't help going back to the top of the 3rd inning when Austin Riley allowed that ball to go. It has changed the entire momentum.
Ozuna late May, living high in that strike zone, 96 miles an hour.
Got to stay up there because Marcell Ozuna loves anything over 95 miles per hour.
All hands on deck. Both managers have said about their pitching staffs, regardless of who's been used recently. The 1-2 misses off. Three runs in the inning for the Atlanta Braves.
There's Showalter forced to make this move. You cannot let this go any further.
Travis d'Arnaud, the big hit, knocked in 2. Now has 60 RBI on the season. 2-2. Ozuna, this is playable. Alonso, tough play, calls everyone off, still backs up, and he's there in foul territory to make the play. A little review as we are now through just 1/3 of the game. Austin Riley in the top half let that ball go foul. It kept the Mets in check, and then Travis d'Arnaud delivers the big hit, which sent Bassitt to the bench and put the Braves on top. With the MLB app, coverage of in-game highlights, pitch-by-pitch features, select live broadcast coverage, and more. You won't miss a beat. Download the MLB app today. Like a heavyweight fight here. Everybody punches and then a counter punch. We go to the 4th inning. Charlie Morton still on, though the Braves have Colin McHugh now warming in the bullpen. Leadoff hitter is Brandon Nimmo. 4-3 Atlanta. They lead the division by a game. 99 and 59. The Mets 98 and 60. And after 18 games between the two teams, each has won 9. A huge game to decide the season series and the tiebreaker should they end the season tied. 0-1 to Nimmo, grounded out and singled his next time up. Leads the team in runs, triples. Mets led the NL East by 10.5 games. The Braves were 23 and 27. What have they done since? A complete about face. And by the way, the Mets are 21 over 500 and lost all that ground because the Atlanta Braves went 76 and 32. Only the Dodgers had a better record. That's called strike 3. Charlie Morton. One of the reasons is that guy, that's Spencer Strider, who's become just a strikeout machine. Hasn't started to throw yet. They get their fingers crossed he can come back.
Charlie Morton breaking out the changeup there, locking him up.
He hadn't seen it the entire night. His third plate appearance gets it.
Here's Lindor. And Morton, who has just thrown a bunch of strikes now in a row. 0-1 to Lindor. And Lindor, that's 12 straight strikes from Charlie Morton.
Yeah, he deserves a lot of credit for last inning as well. After the Riley play that Eduardo referred to, first and third, nobody out. He got out of it. He was on the ropes. The bullpen was up. He was one pitch from being out of this game.
I wonder if the pace of McHugh will slow a little bit. As here's a ground ball to Swanson. And quickly, Charlie Morton 2 up, 2 down here in the 4th. Feels and looks like a different pitcher this half inning.
Really does. That's, you know, he's a 38-year-old veteran pitcher. And that's why you run him out here in this sort of a game, because you know he's not going to panic. The moment's not going to get too big.
Remember earlier, Brian Snitker had told Buster he's got to get ahead. Well, last few hitters, that's exactly what he's done. Got him ahead of the last 4 hitters he's faced.
13 straight strikes. McNeil homered his last time up, so he stays away. Buster, how much you think the winning atmosphere last year has created for this team this year?
Yeah, in recent years, and I had a conversation with Dansby Swanson about that before the game, and he mentioned that as they've gotten experience, 2 straight National League Championship Series, winning the World Series last year, he said, you know, it becomes part of your DNA, and there's an expectation to win and win at a high level, and that it feels like, in watching the Braves in this series, like these are guys who are very comfortable being on a big stage. Coney, they actually remind me a lot of your teams in the late 90s with the Yankees, where the experience became a weapon.
Well, I thought the point was well taken, Buster, and the Mets have played well. And we showed that graphic where it's not like they've seeded anything. It's
64 and 43.
They didn't really seed anything. The Braves came and are trying to take it.
Since June 1st, the Braves are playing at a 114 win pace over a full season.
Yep.
There's no doubt these are 2 of the best teams in baseball this year.
Yep.
Bar none. But the new format just places so much emphasis on this series and the tiebreaker. Because you get 5 days off if you win the division. You can set your pitching up any way you want.
Can't overemphasize the importance of this game. And again, the Braves, if they win, their magic number with 3 to go is down to 1. 2-2 to McNeil. And a ground ball to second base. And how about Charlie Morton there? His team gives him a lead, and he comes out and efficiently goes 1, 2, 3. Bottom 4 in Atlanta on Sunday night with the Braves up a run. Welcome back to Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN. Our telecast is presented by Taco Bell. Our current standings in the hunt for October brought to you by Geico. The Dodgers actually lost a game today. The Rockies beat them 4-1. St. Louis 92-67. Albert Pujols goes deep again. 7-0-2. Padres into the postseason. The Phillies had a good day because they won, and the Brewers lost. There is the World Championship trophy. Part of the frustration for the New York Mets and their fans is you went into this month and you looked at the schedule, pretty favorable schedule, and yet they are only 3 games over 15-12 in the month. That seems to be a bit overrated, the idea that you're looking at your schedule and think, yep, that's a win, that's a win, that's a win, probably take 2 or 3. It just doesn't work that way.
It's not that easy.
0-2 to Eddie Rosario. Fouls that off. Trevor May came on in relief of Chris Bassett. So we've seen Stevens get up for Atlanta. Then we saw McHugh get up for Atlanta. There's nobody up, and that was an inning in which Morton probably regained the trust of the staff and Snitker and said, go again. Playable on the left side. Escobar is there to make the play. Hey, you can enjoy the show as the regular season comes to a spectacular conclusion. Get ready for what happens next. The MLB postseason starts October 7th. Go to MLB.com/postseason for the full schedule. You ready for the postseason?
Yes, ready to go.
This is a postseason game, isn't it? I mean, this is an enormous game, and probably more so for the Mets, because to reduce a magic number for Atlanta going to Miami to be 1 kind of feels like that's impossible. But you tie this division race up and you get the tiebreaker, changes everything.
I mean, you come into Atlanta and you're thinking DeGrom, Scherzer, and then Bassett. But the first 2, you can at least get 1. Ended up getting 2 W's against those 2.
Well, they need some relief work here. It's a 1-run game.
Yep.
May did a good job in the last inning.
Three earned, 4 earned, 4 earned from the starters, DeGrom, Scherzer, and Bassett. They go home for Washington as Arcia stays alive. Atlanta goes to Miami. It's interesting, too. I mean, if you were a Met fan and the Braves are going to Miami, they're going to have to face Sandy Alcantara. Doesn't appear like Sandy Alcantara is going to play or pitch.
Yeah, the beach is closed. Sandy Beach. Done for the season.
That one misses.
Sounds like more of an organizational decision than Sandy's decision, or even Don Mattingly for that matter. Is kind of feel like if it were left up to Sandy, he'd want to pitch that game. Probably the Cy Young Award winner this year in the National League.
David Peterson is warming up in that Met bullpen. Yeah, and not only that, I mean, they have been dominated by the Braves, the Marlins. Marlins have won 4 times in the 16 games they've played. 2 of those wins were by Sandy Alcantara.
He's a real deal. Great changeup, fastball, and how about the slider as well.
May gets Arcia. 2 down.
Good stuff from Trevor May. This is the changeup off of the 4-seamer up. Good combination. Fastball up, changeup down.
Ronald Acuna Jr. Popped out to second, walked and scored in the fourth. Because of the emergence of Riley, Swanson, Olson, you forget when he's right, he's the best player on the team.
He is. Once he's 100%, this team's only going to get better for next season as well. So this is length that Alex Anthopoulos has been able to create with pretty much organizational depth as well, with Vaughn Grissom also working as a potential star.
So the other part of avoiding the wild card is if you play the wild card series, one of these two teams will have all 3 games at home. If you then win that series, you get the Dodgers. So it's like a double whammy. A, you're playing the wild card, then you got to win it, then you got to go have a series with Los Angeles. In there, May punches out Ronald Acuna Jr. He gets to see him looking. Little bat flip, little helmet toss. Good inning for Trevor May. Alonso leads off when we come back. '21 season, the Mets 8 under. They finished in third, and of course the Braves only won 88 games, but then they won the World Series. So how do you get into 2022? Look at the new names and the impact that Olson has made. William Contreras for a while. Obviously Harris and Strider are Rookie of the Year candidates, 1 and 2. Raisel Iglesias was an unbelievable pickup, and Jansen's been really solid here lately. A lot of that homegrown talent, and the Mets went out and spent. I mean, they changed the culture of that clubhouse. They brought in Marte, who is absent because of that finger injury, and of course, perhaps the biggest change was that guy right there, Buck Showalter. Alonso leads things off against Morton with another strike. And as Buck said, look, we're not going to apologize for winning close to, if not 100 games.
Well, he, along with Billy Epler, the GM, have done an outstanding job together. They work very well together. All the choices they've made have really panned out.
Alonso rights this one to right field. Acuna going back. Now he stopped just shy of the wall. Seven in a row now retired by Charlie Morton. That 100-win mark, if you look at that 93 year, that was the year that the Braves kept coming, and the Giants with Bonds. Atlanta Braves had Greg Maddux for the first time, and you know, he was Clark Kent. Then he went into the phone booth and came out as Superman the rest of that year. They ended up with 104 wins, and in 94 the owner said we're done with this idea of teams winning 100 and not getting to the playoffs. That's when the wild card came into play. Very similar to this year when the Mets kept winning and the Braves were just winning at a greater pace. Now the NL East has never had two teams finish with 100 wins in a season. The Braves Giants, they were part of the NL West.
Could say that 93 season is the reason that Bud Selig is in the Hall of Fame, because of the wild card. Bringing it into the Major League Baseball.
There was some good and bad about 94.
I'm going to sit this one out.
But we all remember when the wild card was proposed, how many people were like, are you kidding me? We're ruining the game. It's a disaster. We're going to add another team to what already is a watered down. What are you doing? 3-2. And reaching out and sending one into left field. That's going to get down. Good piece of hitting by Eduardo Escobar. Second hit of the night.
And it's the second time that he goes the other way, pretty much in the same spot. This time he tracks that curveball. All he saw in this at-bat were curveballs and one changeup on the third pitch. That's going to do it for Charlie. But what a piece of hitting by Escobar.
Daniel Vogelbach due up for the Mets. Dylan Lee, the lefty, coming in for the Atlanta Braves. See what Buck Showalter does here as we come back. Sunday Night Baseball.
Where's the red at?
Francisco Alvarez, the #1 prospect in the major league, swings at the first pitch from Dylan Lee. Just a youngster, 20 years young, called up recently by the New York Mets. 0 for 6 with a couple of strikeouts, but you talk about power in a bat and in a body. 260, 22 doubles, 27 homers, 78 runs batted in 112 minor league games. They are so excited about Francisco Alvarez.
Keep an eye on how flat he keeps the bat horizontal to the ground. Never picks it up, means it stays in the zone long. Finds himself already behind 0-2 on a pitcher he's never seen. Dylan Lee.
Out of play.
How about that story for Buck with the foul balls? You can tell how far the foul balls are hit.
So typical of Buck to observe that when he said, do you ever notice how high his foul pop-ups go? And everyone looked at Buck like they usually do when he brings up a statement like that. Like, no, we don't. We never looked. He said you learn a lot about how high a foul pop goes off somebody's bat. And Alvarez has hit some real high ones. Takes one there.
The pre-exit velocity days when you had to grade with your eyeballs.
Right,
The old eye test.
Eyeballs in the ears.
He's a catcher by trade, DHing, of course. He was an all-star futures game player in 21 and this year. 1-2 from Dylan Lee. 2-2, and one of the things, right, Eduardo? I mean, what are the things that he's gonna have to work on to become a more polished major league player over the next few years?
Well, he plays a premium position behind the plate. So it's about understanding what to do with the opposing hitters, how to be able to communicate well and lead as a catcher with your pitchers. Offensively, they believe he's ready.
There's some of that power in that swing.
I think that's the thing you look at, other than the numbers or the results, is what type of at-bats he gets. Dropping down 0-2, working his way back into it. Really good swing right here. He's not overmatched at all.
Or intimidated at all. He's having fun. Had a long conversation with him yesterday. See how still his head stays? Not a lot of movement from the bottom half.
5'10", 233 pounds. Brave shift on defense, and he's now got himself back into a full count.
Really good at bat going right now.
Shaking his head, he's feeling it.
8th pitch of the at-bat.
Time out! Time out! Time out! Time out! I don't know. I was like, sit down.
Showalter, one of the ways he describes Alvarez, he has muscles on muscles. 3-2, swing and a miss. Dylan Lee got him to chase.
Made him work. Went with the slider, Coney. That's what you were talking about earlier. You don't necessarily have to throw a 3-2 pitch for a strike. You can allow the hitter to be aggressive, make it appear like it's strike, and then falls off the plate.
Yeah, that one was right over the heart of the plate. That was a strike a long way until the end.
Marcana next up for Lee. That's foul. I would think, Eduardo, that one of the things he's become accustomed to, Alvarez, carrying your minor league team, expectations are so high, there's going to be that period where you get to this level, and at some point you're going to realize, I got a lot of other guys that can do that. I'm not responsible for that yet.
I think there's a lot of players on each of the major league teams that have gone through the same thing.
Yeah.
They were the guy at the minor league level, if it's an A-ball, AA, or AAA, before they get here.
Canna, Squibber, Olsen, easy one. Dylan Lee does his job out of that Brave bullpen. Bottom 5 coming up. It's 4-3 Braves. Seth Lugo on the mound, 4 runs last 3 games. He'd allow 4 over his 17 before that, the 2 ERA. He's got to get Dansby Swanson to lead off the inning. First pitch, breaking ball in there for strike 1. Both managers playing this like it's a game 7, using their A-list relievers, knowing how important the victory is. Okay. Ouch. That one got McCann. Take a look at Dansby's home run. This goes through our T-Mobile multi-view.
Well, it was a cutter. 3-2. Too much of the plate. Gave the Braves the lead. Got the fans out of the seats.
Certainly this part of the order is going to dictate the bullpen usage for Showalter in particular here. That's why Luke was going to be in this game, to go through the top of the order.
Swanson, Harris, and Riley.
If the game stays the same score next time around, it'll be Edwin Diaz to face this part of the order.
I agree, especially if it continues to stay a close game like it is now.
Yeah, I got to believe, too, Diaz will be used for more than 3 outs, right? Buck told us, he kind of jokingly suggested he's so well rested, maybe he'll give us 3 tonight, to which the analytics folks and others looked at him like he had 2 heads. Like, we're not doing that. Swanson on the ground, third base. It's fielded by Escobar, spins and throws out. Dansby Swanson. Good play by Eduardo Escobar to his left.
Excellent play by Eduardo. Ever since coming off the IL with an oblique issue, he has been on, both offensively and defensively. Doesn't squeeze the glove hard enough. The ball dances a little bit in the mitt. 360 strike to number 20, Pete Alonso.
One of the things that makes Lugo so good is his ability to get lefties out. A 163 average, 3rd best in the National League, 7th best in the majors. Lefties are 16 for 98 against him. What makes him so effective against lefties?
Well, that curveball right there. I mean, Seth Lugo's got one of the best. Certainly in terms of analytics and spin and break. When he's got his good command, it's one of the best curveballs of any reliever out there. Certainly a right-handed reliever.
As a hitter, sort of hear that little noise from the seams. You like that, huh, Carl?
Guys smelling their bats on foul balls and waiting for the
Yes.
in there. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Average Major League curveball probably about 2,400 RPMs.
Right back up the middle, off of his leg. It's fielded, and they are going to get Michael Harris, who's quick. That one went off Lugo's leg and right to Guillorme.
He'll take that. That would have been a base hit. Guillorme, right spot, right time, if you're a Met fan.
Get an assist for that. Good for your defensive stats.
1-4-3. And now Riley. One of the Braves who signed a huge extension. Of course, Olson comes over. He signs an 8-year deal. Riley, 10 years. Harris, who has just retired, 8 years. I want to say that they're team friendly, but they're not the $335 million deals. And Harris, of course, is just a rookie, so he's signed for $72 million. Planning ahead, brought to you by Voya Financial. Talked a lot about the Yankees in the late 90s and their core. How about the core for the Atlanta Braves and how long they are signed for? Riley, 32. Olson, 30. Harris through 2030. Acuna Jr., 28. Another swing and a miss and a good location from Lugo.
They're young, they develop them, and the most important thing that Alex Anthopoulos had told me in Northport in spring training is loves character. Loves the guys to be able to get along in that clubhouse. Wants good teammates, and that's what he has in that clubhouse.
Yeah, Northport, of course, and obviously in light of the hurricane and the damage that was done, our thoughts and prayers go out to everybody impacted by Hurricane Ian. It's tragic scenes from Southwest Florida. Riley on a line, one hopper. Lindor to a knee, throws him out. Riley hit that real hard, 109 off the bat. Bullpens are doing the job. It's only a 1-run game as we head to the 6th on Sunday night. Week 4 Monday Night Football matchup, NFC rivalry game. It's the Niners and the Rams rematch of last season's NFC Championship game. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, ESPN, ESPN Deportes, ESPN app. It's hard to read this when you're seeing DeGrom go out for passes, Scherzer, etc. Peyton and Eli are back on ESPN2. Coverage with Monday Night Countdown at 6. Dylan Lee on the mound to Guillorme to start the 6th inning. And again, reminding everybody, both of these teams have won 9 and lost 9 in the season series. This is a tiebreaker game for them. The Braves 1 up in the division. And if they win tonight, their magic number for the final 3 games will be reduced to 1. So they win 1 or the Mets lose 1, and they will win another National League East championship. Won 4 straight. The loser will end up in a wild card series. There is no game 163s anymore. Everything is done via the head-to-head. Guillorme fouls that off. One for 10, 3 Ks their last 10. And again, this goes back to Charlie Morton kind of locking it in. In there, punched out, Guillorme.
Setting up a way, but you know, you give d'Arnaud credit because he's got to reach a long way over the plate and get that ball, and still presented it in a way that he could still get that call. A lot of times you won't get that call because you had to move so much.
Estabrook did not move, stayed right there in front of that plate.
And now McCann with Colin McHugh warming again in the Atlanta bullpen. It gets late early. I mean, the way the arms are working, start to count outs. Not a clinching game, but it is a huge game for both teams.
Better be careful here with the fastball. McCann has been guessing heater, now down 1-0 count. What another changeup. I think he was thinking along.
You're mind melding with him, yes.
You look middle in if you're McCann. Everything else you take.
What do you think it would be like to mind meld with you?
No, you don't want to go there. You don't want to be there at all.
Is there a particular time of day where it gets particularly...
When it's dark out.
3-0 with Nimmo on deck. 3-1.
Really is the story in baseball now, are these two teams. I think Milwaukee's still a shot with 2 games back in the wild card. But really, it's the Braves and Mets.
And McCann to right field. This one towards the corner. And it just goes foul.
Even at 92 miles per hour, the perceived velocity has to be a lot more. Because on a 3-1 count, for McCann to be late on, tells you a couple things. Lee's fastball works, and McCann just a little too long of a swing. Let it get too deep.
It's a home run in Boston.
One Park. On the ground, Riley backs up, gets a charity hop, throws across the diamond, and the tag is put on McCann, who tried to slide underneath Olsen.
Oh, Matt Olson right there knows who the runner is. Comes off the bag, no problem. Knows he has enough time.
I want to see this again. Did he tag him?
Oh, he got him around the bill.
.42 sellouts for the Atlanta Braves here at Truist Park, where they enjoy one of the great home field advantages. And now with 2 men down, Nimmo try to get things going for the Mets. Bats have gone silent. In there for a strike. They're gonna be right around the 3 million mark when it comes to attendance. And for people at home wondering, did the tag ever get made? Ouch. Yes.
Right in the grill.
In fact, 3.1 million, their highest attendance since 2000.
It's kind of been the story of baseball the last few weeks, really, around Major League Baseball. Tremendous crowds in Seattle, seeing them go nuts the other night. Crowds following Aaron Judge and his home run chase.
Best line yet of Scott's service over there was, "Tonight we party." And they clinched.
That missed high, 3 balls, 1 strike from Lee. 6-3, 214. Taken by the Marlins back in 2016, the 10th round. He was a Fresno State guy. Made his debut with the Braves last year. It's a called strike on Nimmo.
One of the hardest places to warm up before a game in a big game, Seattle. In that ballpark, the fans are on top of you, like Fenway. This crowd here, fantastic as well.
Three and two on the way to Nimmo. He spoils that. Seattle's good at having loud buildings because, as you know, the Kingdome was the loudest building there ever was.
Ridiculous. With Randy Johnson on the mound, you just did not want to be there as an opponent.
All right, 90, that was the loudest the buildings I've ever heard.
It really was. And those fans are so vocal, so passionate.
Good on them to have a team back in the postseason. Metrodome, when it was full, was another building in Minnesota. And Nimmo is on with a walk. Is it Colin McHugh time? It looks like it is. Ryan Snitker has gone to the bullpen one more time. Dylan Lee kept the Braves on top. Francisco Lindor will come up with 2 down. Lee out. Colin McHugh is in. ESPN, Colin McHugh is on the mound. The former Met, 56 games, a 2.65 ERA. Lindor bats from the left side. McHugh grew up a Braves fan, although originally drafted by the New York Mets in the 18th round. Tom Glavine, John Smoltz, Greg Maddux, those were his guys. And now here he is in a huge game in a big spot. Lindor, all over that first pitch, but he ripped it foul.
Well, that's the one pitch that has been hit hard this year against Colin McHugh. The other two, the cutter and the curveball, hitters are hitting under $150 combined.
Nimmo has terrific speed at first base. Good pitch. Lindor missed that one.
A little surprised with the tying run that the outfield is now playing a little bit deeper. Rosario very shallow and left. With 2 outs, runner at first base, you want to prevent anything hit over your head.
Oh, 2, and he struck him out. Lindor to a knee. McHugh gets the job done for the Braves. The Mets strand another. He's hitting almost 400 against the curveball, and Colin McHugh got him. Sunday Night Baseball rolls. Eight teams, 4 series, best of 3.
It's about to get wild. Playoff baseball, man.
There's nothing like it.
8 teams, 4 series, best of 3.
It's about to get wild.
Fall frenzy begins Friday with the wild card series. Teams with better records will have all the games at home. And the division winners, like the Dodgers, the Yankees, Those teams with the best records get 5 days off. Be real interesting. We'll get into that whole rust versus rest conversation that we have every year in the postseason. And during the division series games 1, 2, then an off day, 3, 4, 5. There is no off day. So you're playing 5 games in 6 days. Matt Olson, right field, hit it well. He doesn't even need to watch it. It's gone. Another home run for the Braves. And Matt Olson does it again against the Mets.
This is why they're dangerous. They're so deep in their lineup. At will, any of these guys can go deep. They hit the ball hard. They leave Lugo in because of the success that he's had against lefties. And he hangs him one. Sees it, grounded, lift off. He knew it as soon as he hit it.
410 feet, and no doubter, he looked at his bench. Olson and Swanson. The lead grows to 2 here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Guys, think about that possible punctuation also for the regular season for Matt Olson. Began a course where the Braves traded for him after the negotiations with longtime Brave Freddie Freeman didn't work out. When Matt Olson was making the flight here and his agent told him about the contract and the long-term obligation with the Braves that they were going to make to him, he asked if that was real. He couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe the contract was real. Here he is in a town, of course, where he grew up.
Yeah, which again goes back to the Swanson conversation. For another kid that grew up in Georgia, you have Harris, you got Olson. You could, if you choose to, have Swanson hometown guys who know all about this whole Braves upbringing in Braves country. Olson started the season like a house of fire, and then he kind of tailed off a little bit. But he has certainly come back strong here, and especially the last couple of weeks as d'Arnaud is punched out.
Talk about the balance right there. 108 miles per hour off the bat, 32 degrees launch angle creates that. You can watch it. Now he's homered in 4 straight games. That's the second longest streak of his career. Did it in 5 in 2017.
I think it's really interesting. And how do you put your finger on this Riley, Swanson, Olson? They came into the last couple of series ice cold. What happened? Good pitchers, great pitchers. And the Braves have 14 runs in this series, 8 of them by homers. And you can now add Olson to the list that Swanson joined earlier with the guys that have hit a homer in each game of a 3-game series against the Mets. Let me ask again, what happened?
What happened? That's what a lot of people want to know. The bottom line is the talent happened. They are uber talented. They believe in themselves. They believe in the process. There's structure behind everything on the defensive standpoint. Every day they work with Wash on all those drills. There's no day off when it comes to it. Offensively, we walked through the clubhouse today. What was Dansby Swanson doing? His routine off the tee.
In some ways, it's never been harder to hit in the major leagues. High velocity relievers coming at you one after another. Sample size, beware. You can carve out any sample size you want throughout the course of a season and bend the numbers any way you want. Every year, it seems like we need a reminder that the baseball season's a marathon. It's easy to give up on people. What the Yankees did in August looked like they were going to blow their lead. Certain players are going to struggle, and it is. Confidence is so fleeting at times, even for the best players. Some of the best players I've ever played with are some of the most insecure ones at times.
Rosario, swinging bunt. Lugo gets it, throws, and Alonso's able to make the play. But another home run. Olson's hit parade continues. He and Swanson have homered in each game of this series. A hang it and bang it effort right there. Braves 5, Mets 3. Brought to you by Geico as we head to the 7th inning with the Braves up 5-3. Bassett lasted 2 2/3, 4 earned runs. Charlie Morton bared down a little bit. He still gave up 3 earned and 4 1/3. The home runs again, the difference in games 1, 2, and so far here in game 3, Swanson, Olson go yard again. They've homered in each game of this series. But now the gift that keeps on giving for the Atlanta Braves is Raisel Iglesias, an ERA of 2.55. Came over at the trade deadline, and he has just been locked down, been outstanding. Jesse Chavez, Tucker Davidson. 32-year-old righty. Brian Snitker and the Atlanta Braves continue to apply pressure and try to get to the finish line in this game and reduce their magic number to 1 and take the season series against the Mets, and quickly ahead of McNeil 0-2. How good has he been?
Just attack mode on the mound, ready to throw. Closer experience, pitching in the 7th inning for the Braves.
Braves outfield against McNeil fairly shallow, and he slaps one the other way, which he's prone to do with 2 strikes. He and Escobar. There's a closer with the Angels, so this is a team that's got Kenley Jansen, who very well could pitch again. It would be the 3rd straight day that he's pitched. And McNeil rolls that foul.
Tell you what, guys, really surprised to see Eddie Rosario still in the game. Braves have a 2-run lead. He made the last out of the 6th inning. They usually take him out for defense. What's the possibility of his at-bat coming up again? You have your top relievers in right now. Outfield shifted towards left.
They'll check 3rd, and then McNeil stays alive.
You're welcome.
Knowing how dependent teams get on bullpens in the postseason, Iglesias may be as big an acquisition at the deadline as any team made.
Well, you look at the Braves last year, it was their bullpen that carried them. We already know what the formula has been for Brian Snitker to get a World Series championship. Why should it be any different?
1-2 to McNeil. And that is in the hole. Great job by Jeff McNeil. Mets need base runners, and he slapped one between Swanson and Riley with 2 strikes to get on. McNeil's 3rd hit of the night.
It's kind of been the story of the Mets all year. They have a bunch of tough outs. They work the count. They're hard to strike out. And to go out and have that kind of plate coverage with that swing tells you how good of a hitter Jeff McNeil is.
Back leg never rotated the foot. Just stayed on plane the entire time.
Like a tennis stroke. Served the backhand the other way.
Yep. Well, here's Alonso, and the first pitch from Iglesias, down and in, ball 1. Big spot, nobody out, down by 2. Alonso, 131 runs batted in on the season.
Alonso not just a slugger, just a good hitter all the way around.
Minter. See the hat going to be handed back. Bullpen coaches will put the pitch comm into the hat when they throw their first few warm-up pitches. Saw that with the Mets earlier. And Alonso, shallow center, second baseman going out, and he calls it. It's Arcia. Big out for Iglesias to get Alonso.
Really loved what Orlando Arcia did there. Called it early, waved the outfielders off. Usually as an infielder, you're taught don't say anything. But when you have a lot of speed in the outfield with Acuna and Harris, you let them know early. See him right there waving him off with the glove. They veer, they slow it down, give him room to make the play.
Now here's Eduardo Escobar. He's got a single in each of his last 2 plate appearances. Swing and a miss. Well, easy to see the story of this series has been the home runs for Atlanta. And the Mets' inability with runners on. They are 3 for 14 with men on tonight and 9 for 37 in the series. And all 9 of those hits have been singles. 7-3 is the difference just in home runs this series.
Well, Carl, you can extend that back to June 1st. It really is the difference between what the Braves have done and what the Mets have done since June 1. Braves have 179 homers. The Mets have 117.
Center field, Harris, he's coming in. He calls off Rosario, and they're 2 down. And to Buster's point, anytime you think about a number like that with the Braves, you always then say, well, the Dodgers are the best team. What have they done? 148 since June 1st. They've been out-homered by the Braves 179 to 148. The way they're playing, you could make the case this is the best team in baseball.
Well, home runs matter, and in big games even more, even though there's this notion that you need to play small ball in big games. You need to manufacture runs and bunch hits together, and actually, it's about home runs.
Yep, Alvarez got jammed. A 1-hopper and an easy inning for Raisel Iglesias. The rookie run out. It'll be 9-1-2 with the Braves coming up in the bottom of the 7th on Sunday Night Baseball. Welcome back to Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN, telecast presented by Taco Bell. The series story has been the home runs off the bats of Dansby Swanson, Matt Olson, Austin Riley got into the mix. Travis d'Arnaud had a big 2 RBI single up the middle. They knocked Chris Bassett out of the game, and now it's become a battle of the bullpens. Atlanta trying to win and reduce their magic number to 1 as they have come roaring from behind against a Met team that has spent the majority of the season in first place. For a long time, it's been the Mets and the Atlanta Braves this month, but before that, the Mets and the Dodgers were in the conversation for best team in the league. Help people affected by Hurricane Ian. Donate at redcross.org/ESPN. redcross.org/ESPN. Help the Red Cross prepare for, respond to, and help people recover from this disaster. Drew Smith now on the mound for Buck Showalter and the New York Mets. It'll be 9, then back to the top of the order for Atlanta. Depending how the rest of the season plays out, getting right back into the wild card, a lot of folks will look at that as something that you want to do. If you're rolling, you want to keep playing. If the Mets end up in the wild card, it may be a chance to also reset. You know, you can. There's almost a flatness about them that you didn't see when DeGrom and Scherzer were right. You know, they were electric. They're winning those games. Well, they got hit a little bit. Now the offense without Marte is a little flat, but this has been as good a baseball team as there is in baseball for the majority of the season.
Still a very dangerous team.
Is it that they're flat, or is it that they ran into a really hot team as well?
Yeah.
Because I think this is more about what the Braves have done right than what the Mets haven't been able to do here, at least in this series.
And the Braves have had the best offense this series. The Mets have had the best closer all year in baseball. And if you can get to that weapon and you have a lead, Edwin Diaz has got you wins. A historic pace for strikeouts.
So we're not going to see the dueling Timmy Trumpet song tonight?
Not right now. Doesn't feel that way yet. Still got a chance.
Well, we know who Timmy Trumpet is pulling for. And he claims Diaz, even though Contreras uses it for a walk-up song.
Pulled into the corner, and it will be fouled. Jimmy Trumpets had never been to a baseball game before.
First time, yes. Loved it.
Probably a lot of cricket matches from where he's from, but not baseball.
An incredible scene at Citi Field. They embrace Timmy Trumpets. You knew about Trumpets before.
Yes, I mean,
Diaz, and you were big into that.
I love the pageantry for closers and walkout songs. I think it's great. That was a fantastic scene at Citi Field earlier this year.
No, that one is fair. Right back up the middle, and Arcia leads off the bottom of the 7th with a hit off Smith.
Want more stats? Just ask Siri who leads MLB in home runs.
You know, as you look forward to the postseason, they're not laying in the weeds because they've been the most dominant team in the American League. But it's the Houston Astros. In the National League, if it ended now, it would be the Dodgers and the Braves with the byes. The Mets would get the Padres. The Cardinals would get the Phillies. But we'll go into the postseason with the Astros being the favorite in the American League.
The Astros have earned it. They're a great team. They're pitching fantastic. Justin Verlander's back and healthy. Framber Valdez has had one of the best years that maybe you haven't seen or heard about. Just quality start after quality start.
Kristen Javier has been solid.
Great.
Lance McCullers Jr.
Urquidy always good. Steve Baker trying to win his first World Series. He's checked every other box you can imagine as a manager with his experiences.
They're really tough at home in that ballpark in Houston.
They will have home field in the American League as Acuna fouls that one straight back. So you're also been on the Yankee watch. Is Judge going to do this? And I hate to sort of always ask that because I know it's old for him to hear it, but that's what the attention has been on with the Yankees.
Well, the Yankees have 4 games left in Texas. There's a doubleheader Tuesday. And the Yankees also will have that 5-day stretch where they'll have off days. So there's plenty of time for him to get rested up after the season. So I'm betting that he will do it in Texas.
97, Acuna swings and misses. Biggest story of the regular season has been what?
Well, I think the Dodgers have been a juggernaut. I think that they are the elephant in the room that you have to acknowledge. 110 wins, and they're not done yet. So we've said this before when we covered their games. Unless they close the deal and win the World Series, nobody's going to care how many games you won during the regular season. But if they do, it's a signature year for that franchise.
I would say, barring the pennant races, you're looking at the individual accomplishments from Cabrera getting to 3,000, Pujols doing what he's done, and Judge as well with the 61.
Swing and a miss from Dansby Swanson. Because Judge has done what he's done, he's seemingly overshadowed Ohtani, who may be better this year than he was last year.
Ohtani's just remarkable, but taking the next step pitching-wise on the mound. I think last year he was a little bit better hitter than he was a pitcher. This year it's almost reversed. He's completely dominant on the mound.
$30 million contract for Ohtani, one-year deal.
Yeah, Carl, the biggest story on the field was Judge, and in this offseason it's going to be Judge's free agency, and then in 2023 it's going to be Ohtani. In those last months before he potentially becomes a free agent and maybe gets the biggest contract we've ever seen.
I think the aptitude for pitching that Ohtani's shown this year, coming up with a two-seamer in the upper 90s and a sweeping slider, it's like his repertoire has evolved into almost unhittable at times.
You know, the guy waiting on deck, and Buster, you know this, you know, when Michael Harris was scouted here in the Atlanta area, many of the teams, if not most of them, went to look at him as a left-handed pitcher. I mean, he was a 92 to 95 mile an hour guy.
That's exactly right. And I think a lot of teams were going to draft him as a pitcher. I talked to Michael today, and he said that when he spoke with many teams, he told them, look, I'll do whatever your organization wants me to do. I'll help out any way you want me to help out. But something changed after he worked out for the Braves.
Walk to Swanson brings him up. Go ahead.
Yeah, when Dana Brown, who's the scouting director for the Braves, told me this, that when the Braves folks talked to Michael Harris II after his workout here, they asked him, do you want to be a position player? Do you want to be a pitcher? And he said, no, I definitely want to be a position player, because he thought about it and he had decided, you know what? I like to play every single day.
And he's been doing that really well. How'd you like to make this walk, Coney? You could say it, you'd hate it. Opposing pitcher?
Well, opposing pitcher doesn't like it, that's for sure. It's like a concert.
Feels that way, yeah. Sunday Night Baseball has been presented by Taco Bell. Truist Park in Atlanta. Like a horse race, the Atlanta Braves have moved past the New York Mets, lead the division by a game. Season series tied 9-9. And at some point in the game, you have to start thinking about the next series and then down the road, the wild card series. If the Braves hang on and win against Joely Rodriguez now on the mound for New York, they'll have a magic number of 1, meaning a Met loss or a Brave win, and they win the division for the 5th straight year. Strike 1 to Harris. Part of the reason I brought that up was it's a 2-run game. You have 2 on. You need to win the game. Edwin Diaz is available. I understand the order here. It's Harris and then Riley and Olsen. What are you thinking about? What's happening down the road, or are you thinking about trying to win the game here?
I think if it would have been a 1-run game, it would have been Diaz to start. As soon as it became a 2-run game, Buck decided not to go with him. Now he's going to favor with the lefties. But a big at-bat right here for Harris against Rodriguez.
Well, if you want to interject some math into the equation after that pitch and that strikeout, Braves got a 90% chance to win this game, win probability. So does that factor into Buck Showalter's thinking? I doubt it. But to Eduardo's point, 2-run lead, and Joely Rodriguez is extremely tough on left-handed batters. His cross-firing action just eats up Harris right there.
Sure did. He's got Olson on deck. Riley, though, in between. Couple of groundouts, the shortstop, and a hit by pitch. And the first pitch is in there, strike one.
I was curious to see how he was going to approach Riley already with the first pitch being up 0-1. Will he continue to throw pitches in the zone and try to get Riley to expand? 38 home runs on the season for Riley.
93 runs batted in. Crossfires again and pulls it too far inside.
Last year, Matt Olson, 21 home runs against left-handed pitching.
Two balls and a strike from Joely Rodriguez. It's rare times that you have a Yankee become a Met. And Riley charged. Nice play there at third base by Escobar. Read it right off the bat and would not let it hit the ground before it hit his glove. 8th inning coming up. Mets need some base runners and some runs. Down 2. Hispanic Heritage Month, recognizing the contributions made to our game by the Latino baseball community, past and present. Follow at Las Mayordas and at MLB, and visit lasmayordas.com for full coverage. 8th inning. A.J. Minter, now the left-hander on for the Atlanta Braves. Kenley Jansen likely to pitch the 9th. It stays a 2-run game. It'll be the 3rd consecutive game that Jansen's been on the mound. Minter will get Canha, Guillorme, and McCann before he flips over to the top of the order. New York Mets have Mark Vientos on deck for Guillorme. Jeff McNeil, who's got 3 hits tonight, has tightened up the batting race in the National League with Freddie Freeman. They are separated by percentage points. So there's a race in the American League, and now because of McNeil's productivity, there's a race in the National League for the batting title. One out to Mark Canha. And that's fair ball. Olson couldn't get it. Canha will stop there as Acuna goes over, bobbles it again. He retreats back to first and dives in safely. Some indecision on Canha, but the second time that Acuna's had a hard time picking the ball up.
It's the second time that Canha was the base runner. Happened when he was rounding second base. And then this time, Canha, knowing what the score is, and the respect that everyone has for the arm of Acuna, as soon as he sees him go down, Acuna peeks up, misses the ball. But at least he's on first with the tying run now at the plate.
Great look on Canha's face when he saw Acuna actually pick the ball up, like, ugh, I got to get back. But again, the Mets bring the tying run to the plate. They've had tons of opportunities. And it's Mark Vientos, the pinch hitter. Way outside, ball 1. Not for lack of base runners and opportunities tonight for New York. In there for a strike. The New York Mets are 3 for 16 with men on tonight. James McCann is on deck, and then it'll be Nimmo at the top. Nobody out, 5-3, 8th. We've seen the #1 prospect in baseball. This is the Mets' #5 overall prospect. Swing and a miss late on that 90-mile-an-hour cutter in there for a strike.
Same high school that produced Eric Hosmer, American Heritage.
Pretty good pitch to hit. Swung through it.
First hit was a pinch hit RBI single against the Pirates on the 15th. His first home run on the 24th at Oakland.
All right, I'm sitting Cutter here. Hasn't been able to throw the fastball four-seamer for a strike yet this at-bat. The Cutters have landed for strikes.
Tomas Nido is on deck. Edwin Diaz is warming now in that Met bullpen. Canna off first. He got Vientos. Big pitch from A.J. Minter, and Vientos goes back to the dugout.
A lot more depth on this Cutter, too. 89 miles per hour. He took a little bit off, but that's the pitch he's been landing. Taking advantage a little bit of the youth of Vientos. Thinking 3-2 fastball. Good call by d'Arnaud.
Tomas Nido. 9 strikeouts of Mets hitters tonight by Braves pitchers. Nido bats for McCann. Minter throws over to first.
There's a big difference between both benches as far as depth is concerned. Got William Contreras, you know, that can come off the bench if needed. He was an all-star as the DH position. Robbie Grossman, a lot of experience there. A lot of youth with the Mets.
That's a good pitch from Minter. Changeup was about 7 feet high and outside, and then he comes back and pours a cutter in right on the corner.
You're right, Eduardo. That's his best command pitch tonight so far. I mean, he needs a strike. That's his go-to.
7 of the 9 strikeouts have come with a man on for the Mets tonight. And a slow roll to second. Flip to Swanson, double play. Arcia to Swanson. And we have seen Dylan Lee, Colin McHugh, Raisel Iglesias, now Minter keep the Mets in check. Some emotion from the shortstop Dansby Swanson as he took this flip. Marcia tipped the bag and then backpedaled off the field. He was fired up with that flip he got from the second baseman by hitting a receiver in motion over the middle. Perfect timing on that double play. They are 3 outs away from winning their 100th game and moving within 1 game of winning their 5th straight NL East title. Tyler Naquin is in right field. McNeil moves from the outfield to the infield, and Tomas Nido is behind the plate.
Yeah, great footwork on that double play. Probably the first guy I saw do that, Eduardo, that did moving across the bag like that, Ozzie Smith. Turning double plays like that, you try to take him out, and he'd go the other way.
He was quick.
Joely Rodriguez on the mound for the Mets against Olson. Called strike one on the inside corner. There's a lot of things you could say about Ozzie that he was sort of like the forefather of. He did a lot of things originally, and he did a lot of things first. Did you have a favorite shortstop behind you or second baseman? You knew, like, you know what, I'm covered here. It doesn't matter who it is.
Derek Jeter's pretty good.
Yeah.
Especially I saw him early in his career. Something to be said for making the plays you're supposed to make, right? Everybody, you know, we have so many defensive metrics now that can be kind of noisy, shall we say, from metric to metric.
You made that comment earlier, though, which is so relevant to the postseason. Teams that out-homer the other teams win games. I mean, the old adage has always been pitching beats hitting. But boy, when you hit the ball over the wall, that's a whole different ball game, and you win those games. 20-2. The last postseason, the teams that had the more home runs won the game.
It's just so hard with today's relief pitchers and all the power and the high velocity to string and bunch hits together, as for it to count on that for your rally.
Called strike three, Olson. Retired Joely Rodriguez picks up the strikeout. All right, Eddie, what have you seen from the home run hitters on this Braves team?
Well, one thing's for sure, they just do not miss the fastball. You go with it, they can make adjustments. We saw Swanson there make the adjustment in the third homer. And then here, the fastball, the slider, changeup, excuse me, and then the curveball. Knowing it, staying to the big part of the ballpark. Not necessarily do I have to pull it to go deep.
It's not the trumpets, but it is Edwin Diaz, who appears to be coming out of the Mets bullpen. That's him. It's a little dark in here. That's him. We'll take a 1.5-minute break. Edwin Diaz on the bump for the Mets, trying to keep it a 2-run game. Here we go. The MLB playoffs start Friday, the best of 3 wild card round. We have the games: ESPN, ESPN2, ABC, ESPN Deportes, and of course the ESPN app. Fall Frenzy will start at 1 Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. Well, here you go. There's no trumpets playing yet. However, Contreras has moved into the on-deck circle. Coney may get his wish tonight.
He's on deck.
He's on deck, and there's only one out.
And Edwin Diaz's numbers are, what's Snedeker say?
Stupid.
Yeah, stupid numbers.
Well, d'Arnaud doesn't wait long. He swings at the first one, and he's retired on a fly out to Nimmo. Here we go.
Hitting for your Atlanta Braves, number 24, William Contreras.
So great. So great. So it's the walk-up song for William Contreras, and of course it is the entry song for Edwin Diaz.
I don't think Edwin heard it.
Oh, he had to hear it. Didn't he? He had to hear it. I mean, that's like his anthem.
He knows about it.
He's been in the zone all year long. I will say this, though. Mets fans, they get the long version, all the way from the bullpen.
Last pitch from Edwin Diaz, 100 miles an hour. The Mets will have the top of the order in the 9th, and likely will face Kenley Jansen. That didn't take long. Diaz blows away Contreras. Here we go, 9th inning. Nimmo, Lindor, McNeil. Kenley Jansen for the Atlanta Braves when we come back. Kenley Jansen on the mound for the third straight day. So the Mets are familiar with him. An ERA of 3.48, 62 innings, a strikeout rate of 33%. His walk rate is right around Major League average. He's pitched on 3 straight days once this season, August 12th to the 14th. It was in Miami, and he got all 3 saves. So he will deal with Brandon Nimmo, Lindor, and McNeil. Anything to that, Eduardo? As good as Jansen's been, we've now seen him. This is day 3.
I think we're about to find out. He was really dominant yesterday. The cutter was on. Every hitter he faced, first pitch, was on point. They're hoping to see the same thing here.
Every other reliever has been rock solid tonight for Atlanta. Nimmo 1 hit, a walk. Strike 1. Head 0-2. He threw another cutter. He makes a living off of. He's moved it around the zone.
We've seen him for so many years when he goes 0-2. Get chases way up in the zone.
Oh, and 2.
Rated everywhere.
And Nimmo on the ground right at Swanson. Tough hop, played it well, and he gets Nimmo by half a step. Not an easy play for Swanson at short.
No, that could have eaten up a lot of shortstops. Soft hands. He was flat-footed a little bit on this one. This is a great angle from it. Gets it, stays back, just comes up. Talk about soft hands. See him on his heels a little bit, jumps back and softens it up. Makes a strong throw over to first base, respecting the speed of Nimmo.
That was a ridiculous hop, 105 miles an hour up of Nimmo's bat.
Into his chest. Here's Lindor. These kids have had a lot to cheer about. The University of Georgia football team drops to 2 in the rankings. They got a narrow win. The Falcons won earlier today, and now the Braves trying to complete a sweep of the New York Mets. Lindor, fair ball. 2 down. Jeff McNeil has been outstanding tonight with 2 singles and a homer. They need to get Pete Alonso up. The Atlanta Braves were 10.5 games behind the Mets when June started. Now they're a game ahead of them. McNeil, right field. Acuna going back, still going back. He's there. And the Atlanta Braves now lead by 2. Their magic number is 1. and they have won 100 games on the season.
Complete dominance by the world champs. They did everything right, but the main thing, they hit the ball out of the ballpark. They pitched really well.
10.5 games back, now 2 games up. They have 3 games with Miami. The Mets will go home and get Washington, and any combination of a Met loss or a Brave win will get them their 5th straight National League East title and move the Mets into a wild card series at home. 3rd straight day wasn't a problem for Kenley Jansen. 7 pitches, all strikes.
Yeah, he filled up the strike zone 3rd day in a row. If there was ever a time to pitch 3 straight days, this was it tonight.
Dansby Swanson will join SportsCenter. John Anderson and John Butchergrass will have that. Our final Sunday night game of the regular season, thanks to Andy Jacobson, our entire crew behind the scenes, led by Phil Orlins, Ivan Solkowski here, Sarah Langs, and everybody else who makes this broadcast possible. And thank you at home very much for spending the regular season and Sunday night with us. My partners, Eduardo Perez, David Cohn. I'm Carl Ravitch. Dansby Swanson on SportsCenter with Butchie and John Anderson. Braves win it 5-3.